Okay. Let's see if he answers. Let's get the rest of my stuff set up. There we go. Okay, that works. Let's see if this is actually streaming. I don't know, my cell phone has service. There we go. I'm definitely streaming. Now I just need to get this guy in the call with me. Let's try again. I do not need that. I don't know. Let's send him a message and see where he's at, because it's 9 o'clock. The bitrate is kind of shaky, but it should be okay. I don't see why it would be a problem. Yeah, I'm getting like a solid 6,000 KB.
Sorry about that. It never buzzed me.
Oh, there you are.
Yeah, sorry. It never buzzed me at all. I was really confused. I was like, it's 9 o'clock. I see he's live. Maybe he's just setting things up. And
yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Cool.
Glad to have you. I was thinking my internet was like freaking out on me, man. I was like, what is going on? Like,
no, Discord hasn't been buzzing me for anything lately, so I might have to check my notifications and see if I messed something up.
Or you can try like uninstalling it and reinstalling it. Take like 5 minutes and it'll probably fix it.
It's quick. Yeah, Discord's messing up, so I might do that after this. So
I find that sometimes when I have Discord open for a long time, it will like have these memory leak issues where it'll slow my computer down. So I don't know.
Used to do that for me.
It can be problematic, to be sure.
Absolutely.
Nice. Okay. I think I've actually going to make one more post. Right here.
Oops. Time to drink water, I guess.
Okay. So let's take. Well, how you doing, man? First of all.
Doing pretty good. Yeah, doing pretty good.
How's the ice been for you? Okay.
So a tree hit our house, and that wasn't fun. And then another tree this morning, I heard it, and I went. The house didn't shake. I think we're fine. It must have hit a neighbor's or something. And now it landed on our sheds in the backyard.
Yikes, man.
Yeah, the sheds are fine, but honestly, if it tore down those sheds, I'm not gonna lose any sleep.
Okay.
No.
So these two sets are Joker Puff. I'm assuming that since it's the Sleepy Cap, that's Canon.
Yeah.
Okay. So how often do you play Canon, man?
I play Canon, I'd say once to 3 times a week.
Okay, so are you guys like offline friends, or did you meet him through like the Puff Discord, or like how did you guys meet?
I met him through a group of friends in like a little Smash group we have,
Gotcha.
like on Facebook, and Because I met you and him at Smash Dojo this year before I even joined that group, and what's it called? Then when he was in the group, it was funny. I messaged him on Twitter because me and him were in a random lobby in a battle arena, and he beat the crap out of me for like an hour and a half. And I messaged was like, "Hey, GG's, thanks for the games, man." And then it turns out we end up becoming friends because of that group.
Yeah, he's got a great attitude, man. It's hard not to become friends with someone like that.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
Let's go ahead and get started here. Before we do anything, are you familiar with the website ultimateframedata.com?
I am. I need to get into it more.
Okay,
Ever
before
since
you do
quarantine,
anything,
I've been lacking on it.
Before you do anything, pull out your smartphone, go to that website, and favorite it.
Got you right now.
Yeah, just get it done. You know why? Because next time you pull open your phone, you're going to be like, oh, yeah, this thing. And, like, a big part of using it as a resource is it being accessible. Like, what's the point of owning a dictionary if it sits on your bookshelf and you never use it, you know? But if you have a pen right in front of you, you're a lot more likely to pick the pen up than the book. Like, making it accessible, I think, is a big part of using it, in my opinion. So I always encourage people to, like, number one, before you do anything, just have that resource in front of you, because you never know when you're going to have a question about the game that you can solve, like, by yourself, by just going and looking at the numbers, you know? Like, you don't always need to make something complicated. Like, sometimes it's just like, well, I don't know anything about this move. Well, go look, what is the move, you know? Like, why don't I go learn about the move for a little bit? And then once you know what the move does and its numbers, stuff might make a little bit more sense as to why something you're doing isn't working.
Absolutely. That's one thing I was supposed to look into. Then quarantine happened. It killed my motivation for a while, and I'm starting to get it back. And
I think it's a good time to kind of get into the grind, man. Like, online tournaments are very playable. I think they will get more playable over time because they're at least trying to make the online not terrible. And, like, I don't know, like, there's still opportunities to play this game, and it's not like Smash is going anywhere. The DLC and the shelf life of this game is going to outlast the pandemic. We all knew it was going to run into 2021, but that's okay. Like, you can still play the game. Like, things will get better. So, let's talk a little bit about this matchup, right? Jigglypuff and Joker. Joker versus Puff. So, before I do anything, I'm going to talk a little bit about what my expectations for this matchup. We're going to talk about some goals. Now, are you watching my stream? Are you able to, like, follow along with the video?
I pulled up the stream so I can pull up the video. If there's a little bit of a delay.
There is a little bit of a delay, and it's very easy for me to just be a little patient while you catch up.
No, it's no worries. I'm watching it though. I have it muted so there's no bleed over in the audio.
Good. Okay, so we got Joker's goals, right? Let's talk about Joker's goals in this matchup. What are Joker's goals? Number one, avoid getting gimped at all cost. This is really important because, like, when Joker doesn't have Arsene, he has to tether. But Jigglypuff's aerials are really long-lasting, and even a stray hit from, like, weak nair can just kill you at, like, 30. Like, you just die, right? So I think it's more important than anything else that Joker is really aware of that super big vulnerability that he has in particular. So how do you avoid getting gimped at all costs? Sub goal. Maintain center stage constantly. The most important thing you can do against Jigglypuff is keep center stage against her, because it means that every time she hits you, you get a chance to reset neutral without going off stage where she's king. If there was a stage that was that looked just like FD but was half the size, Jigglypuff would be a top tier. Because Jigglypuff is that oppressive off stage. The stage length and on stage neutral is her weaknesses. We got to play around that. So that would be an important sub goal. Second sub goal: never be in a hurry. And I would say third goal to avoid getting gimped at all cost is be comfortable fighting off Puff off stage. And what I mean by that is, like, Jigglypuff has a lot of long-lasting hitboxes, and even if she trades, if she touches you, you will die. And so you're going to have to get really aware at where Jigglypuff's hitboxes is and where her weaknesses in those hitboxes are so that you can hit her without getting hit yourself. Because if you're getting touched, you're just going to die.
Yeah.
There's a lot of times where you'll be off stage, and Jigglypuff knows for a fact, if I can trade during your up B, you are dead. If I can trade during your up B, you're dead. You still have your double jump. It doesn't matter. If I hit you, you are going to die. And so you have to use your offstage speed and your double jump to buy yourself time, to create space offstage so that you can swat Jigglypuff away long enough for you to get to the ledge. Okay, that would be the main goal that Joker has. The second goal, main goal, never miss techs. Never miss techs. You know why? Because if you miss techs, Puff's going to kill you super early. And what happens if you die at 60%? Are you getting a lot of mileage out of Arsene? No.
Nope.
Absolutely not. Now, I think every player should be focusing on not missing techs against Jigglypuff in particular. However, Joker, like, super, super duper needs to be getting at least one Arsene stock. Like, good Arsene. That is super important. And if you're dying before Arsene comes out, this matchup is like +2 Puff. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, you lose this matchup really badly if you are not living long enough to pull out Arsene. I want you to understand that. The Jigglypuff doesn't want to kill you. Jigglypuff wants to make you pathetically fail to recover the ledge at 35.
Yep.
And I feel like you probably know this. Like, it's not new information. But it's important that I say it just so that you are, like, reinforced on that. Like, that is my goal. You know, like, this feels bad, but I didn't know why. Yes, it is bad. It's important that you recognize that it's bad and that you work towards avoiding it. So, those are the two, in my opinion, main goals that Joker has. One other third goal is never get cornered for free. And I'll explain that a little bit later. I'm just going to say it right now. Never get cornered for free. And there's a very simple idea behind it that will probably show up in these VODs because you're losing to a Jigglypuff. And you don't lose to a Jigglypuff if you don't get cornered for free. So I suspect we'll have an opportunity to talk about that. But I just want you to think about that sentence like, am I getting cornered and getting anything out of it? Like, do I get something out of cornering myself? If you're not, then that's like cause for concern. Jigglypuff's win conditions, right? Puff's goals. They're very much so the same. Never let Joker see Arsene. Kill at sub 60 constantly, in my opinion. And you don't even need to give Puff the goal, too, of make him miss techs. Techs are not up to the Jigglypuff.
Yeah.
Techs are up to the player that the Jigglypuff is playing. The Jigglypuff is going to go for the jab blocks no matter what. So I think Puff's goals are almost going to be... So, like, never let Joker see Arsene. Puff's goals, always maintain center stage. Center stage is really important in some matchups and not that big a deal in others. Like, against, like, Zero Suit Samus, who has really great mobility, cornering her has limited success. You can get something out of cornering her, but it's not always the most important thing. Or like Shulk, for example. He can just turn green and then jump over you, and now he's out of the corner. Like, there's some matchups where being in the corner isn't the worst thing ever. Being in the corner is the worst thing ever in this matchup for both players. Jigglypuff doesn't want to be in the corner, because if Jigglypuff's in the corner, she's going to die to a stray Arsene back air at like 70. And she's not even off stage. She's going to be at ledge, and she's going to blow up. Absolutely, in this game, it is all about posturing. You ever seen, like, you know what, like, sumo wrestling is?
Yeah.
This is sumo wrestling. This matchup is sumo wrestling. You and your opponent start on opposite sides of the screen, and your entire goal is to jockey for the middle of the circle and to push your opponent off stage. Now, like, this is balanced. Puff, it's a win. Like, if you go out of the circle, Puff just wins. Puff can be off stage all she likes, but being at the ledge means Puff explodes. So, like, they're different, you know what I mean? Like, Puff doesn't worry about getting gimped, but Puff will pop like a balloon, so to speak, if you corner her. So both of these situations are extremely bad. And it's always important that both players are like constantly keeping that in mind, because if you're not good at holding center stage, you're going to really struggle against this matchup. It's just a fact. It's going to be really bad. Okay, so never let Joker get Arsene. Always maintain center stage. These are good goals for general use of the cast, but these are like specifically like set in stone, like Puff has to do these things.
Mm-hmm.
Jigglypuff has to do these things. The last thing that I'm going to say is probably get comfortable at timing out our sim. And you see, Canon Red is a master of this.
Oh, yeah.
He is really good at making you feel bad for your power-ups. He's going to be like, oh, you're strong right now? What if I just didn't interact with you for 15 seconds? He absolutely will do that. And so, like, I guess could also be a goal for Joker as well. Capitalize. You have to use Arsene before Puff can camp you. These goals mirror each other. Puff wants to waste Arsene as much as she can and kill you at 30. Your goal is to deny her early kills and use Arsene's absurd power to demolish her lightweight. Okay, so knowing about these basic ideas, right? Let's start this first set. It's recorded with your phone, and it's okay. I'm sure we'll be able to see the detail.
Next week will be a lot better because I'm definitely planning on doing multiple of these.
I'm not super worried about it. This is very serviceable. It'll be fine. Okay, so the set starts, right? Let's take a look at this. So this idea, right? You shoot gun, and then you back up and you shoot gun again. Before we do anything else, let's take a look at the goals, right? What is Joker's first goal? Maintain center stage constantly. So I want you to ask yourself, what about your decision-making has you actually doing anything to contest the center? If we're in a sumo match right now and your first step is to take a big step backwards, what good is that doing you if it's one of your major goals?
Absolutely nothing.
I want you to think about that. And look at Canon and where he's putting his character. What's the first thing he did? I'm just going to sit here and I'm going to control this space. This is my space.
Mm-hmm. He puts a pound out too, lasting hitbox, definitely fighting over it.
Now, pound isn't invincible. It has weaknesses and openings, but they're small. And more importantly, Chaz says, I'm willing to just pound and just go for it because I think you don't know how to deal with it. This strategy, I'm going to go forward and pound. It's not very good if your opponent knows how to deal with it. To get to the answer of how to deal with pound, we got to talk about this first, right? Because pound dominates matchups. Pound is like a critical weakness. If you don't know how to deal with pound, you don't know the matchup. It's the first thing I'm going to say immediately. I'm very comfortable saying that.
Okay.
If you don't know how to deal with pound, you will lose the matchup. Period. You have to know how this moves work. Okay, so let's figure out how pound works. Before we do anything, I'm just going to assume that you're probably not super comfortable dealing with pound because we're looking at VODs about Jigglypuff, right?
Yeah.
So why don't we figure it out? Go ahead and pull up ultimate frame data for me. I will actually, you know what? I got it on the screen, right? So let's take a look at this information. I'm gonna pull it up, and I want you to just kind of read along with me while we do it, okay?
Cool.
So
I got it here on my phone too.
Yep, Jigglypuff's information. I'm gonna make this a little bigger so that everybody can see it. Nice. Okay, so pound, right? Aerial attacks, special attacks, pound. 13 frames startup. We're gonna take a look at two things that are very important here: the active frames and the total frames. The active frames are all the frames that a hitbox are out, aka all the red circles. And the total frames are the total frames of the move. So we're going to talk about two kinds of pounds here. We're going to talk about pound whiffing and pound on block. These are very important things because pound has a lot of shield stun, right? If you get your shield pounded, not only does it do a lot of shield damage, but it also like makes you stay in shield for a long time, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we want to play against pound. You can do two things. You can make it so that you block early pound, or you whiff punish pound completely. Never contest late pound. Ever. It is a lose condition for you. Unless you're like Dr. Mario. Then you can contest late pound. You just press up B. Never, ever contest late pound. You will lose. Because you probably didn't spend enough time thinking about what you're going to do when you contest late pound. You don't have enough frames. I promise you, you don't. Okay, so I'm going to write that down too. Never contest late pound.
So just
Now,
talking
question.
about the startup.
Well, when someone pounds your shield, you know how pound lasts a long time?
Yeah.
When I refer to late pound, I'm talking about the last active hitboxes.
Okay.
So, like, not the initial punch, but you know how Jigglypuff has, like, a follow-through where the punch, like, keeps going forward?
Yeah.
That's the late. That's the late part of it. If that hits your shield, do not contest it. And so I'll tell you what to do, right? So if you get hit by late pound on shield, how do you not contest it? Well, you leave. The only way that's safe for you to leave is to roll. That's it. Never contest late pound. If you get late pounded, roll away or roll in. There's other options, but for a beginner who is just learning how to deal with pound and how to think about pound, right? And how to get comfortable playing around pound. If you just remember that rule, you are going to be in a lot more control because you will be able to visually recognize, right? Because pound has a lot of stun. So you will see whether you get hit with early pound or late pound. If you know you get hit with late pound, all you got to say is, "Oh, I just should leave. I should just run away. I shouldn't be here because I'm going to get hit." And you can just roll out, and then you're fine. So, on whiff, right? Let's think about this. What does Jigglypuff normally do after a pound? You've played Cannon Red. What does he do? He'll do a pound, and then he does what?
He'll do a nair. He'll fair me.
Yeah.
He's following up.
He does another aerial, right?
Or he's even wrested me out of it. That wasn't fun.
Okay, let's pretend that, just for the sake of argument, he's going to do a nair afterwards, okay?
Okay.
What the? A subscription? Damn. Okay. That's sick. Thank you. So pound, right? Let's talk about this. Let's assume, because I'm good friends with Cannon Red, I'll just tell you a secret that Cannon does. One of Cannon's ways, he opens up his opponent, he does pound, and then he does nair. It works really well for one main reason. If I pound your shield and you do nothing, the nair will shield poke. If it doesn't shield poke, it will break your shield. So what we see here is that if I pound your shield and you do nothing, either way, very bad things are going to happen to you. So this means that when I do pound your shield, you have to do something good. You have to do something. Not only do you have to do something, you have to think about what you're going to do ahead of time. This matchup, if you're going to play the Jigglypuff matchup, in your head, you have to have a game plan. If he early pounds my shield, what do I do? Okay, let's talk about that, right? I will tell you. You don't have to think about it. I'm just going to give you the answers. I'm literally just going to tell you the answer because I know how to deal with it. So pound and nair, right? The first thing we're going to do is we're going to count the frames so we can understand it. Pound, the early hit right here in red, it's minus 11 on shield, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if it's minus 11 and she does a nair afterwards, what's the startup of nair? Frame 6. What's 11 plus 6?
17.
Okay, so what does that mean? If you get hit by early pound, you have 17 frames to screw up Jigglypuff and do whatever you want, and then it's her turn again. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if he does pound and nair, if you block early pound, you get 17 frames to do whatever you want. You're playing Joker, right?
Yeah.
What are some options that you have that are frame 17 or faster? Let's go look at Joker's page.
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah. Well, this is why this website is nice, right? Because you don't have to guess. You don't have to figure it out. You can just go look it up. Like, you don't have to be a good player. You don't have to be a professional. You can just go look. And if you know the numbers, then bam. If you know the numbers, then that's it.
Looks like up smash is probably too long because isn't it 9 frames? It looks like.
Well, up smash is frame 10.
Yeah, but it add a shield, dropping shield for it.
You don't have to drop shield. Did you know that you can up smash out of shield without dropping your shield?
Well, I knew you can, but I didn't know if it was like if it added any extra lag to it. It doesn't seem like it ever, but
it doesn't.
I don't know the numbers.
So in shield, right? In shield, we're gonna talk about this because it's okay. This is why these coaching sessions are so good. Because if you go and watch a YouTube video, it's gonna tell you about things about the game, but those things might not be important to you because you haven't learned about other parts of the game yet. Yeah. And like, you need to make sure that like you understand how to even comprehend an idea before it's explained to you. Because if we start talking about how to put an attack in between like a sandwich, right? We have pound and nair. I need to put some meat in between the slices before I get squished. We can't even talk about that if you don't know what your options are. So I'll just tell you, right? What are my out of shield options? Out of shield, I can do up smash, I can do up B, and I can jump, and I can grab.
Yeah.
Now after I jump, I can do an aerial. Do you know how many frames jump squat is?
3. It's
3.
In this
Yeah.
game, right?
So if I'm going to be doing math, right? If I'm going to sit down and get a calculator out and do some math and say, how many frames does this move take to come out? It's really easy. I just take an aerial and then I add 3 to it because that's how long it takes for me to jump out of shield. So let's look at forward air. What frame is forward air?
It's the first hit's on 7.
Frame
so
7.
you
So if I jump
have
out of
10.
shield with a forward air, that's frame 10. Do I have enough time to stuff Jigglypuff after she pounds my shield?
Yeah, that's enough.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
What about
Nair
neutral air?
even.
Nair? I
Nair's
can
good.
nair if I want to. If Jigglypuff is behind me, can I back air?
Yep.
What about
It's
down
only
air?
10 frames. Down air, let's see them double check. Scrolling down. I have enough. It's 15. It'd be 16 frames. I have just enough.
Okay, now let's think about this. 13 is the earliest frame. If we add 3 frames to jump, what does that put us at? 16, right?
16. And we have
What
17
happens in
frames, right?
Smash when 2 moves hit each other at the same time?
You get a clash.
Well, what happens if they're aerials? They don't clink. They actually trade.
Trade, yeah.
Yeah, okay, now look at up air's hitbox. Down air lasts for multiple frames. Which hitbox comes out first? In front of him or behind him?
On which one? On
For down
the
air.
back
For
one.
Joker's
Yeah,
down air, which
down
hitbox
air.
comes out first?
it starts behind him.
So if
it's
we're
not-
doing some math, it will trade if he's behind you. What if you do down air when Puff is in front of you? You'll just lose.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm glad that you understand those ideas. Like, it's not complicated. You just have to look at the visual information, and then you'll be informed. You're like, oh, I just can't do that. Easy. No big deal. Okay. So we've taken a look at some of the information, and we're informed, right? We can do up smash, we can do nair, and forward air. And all of those ideas are good. Or back air. Now, here's the important part. You have to condition yourself ahead of time to be ready to do those things. You have to watch him pound your shield and then immediately pick what you're going to do. So, which one do you think gives you the best advantage?
If he's behind me, back air would. Up smash gets him off me. I can reset neutral.
How
Or
much
up smash,
damage does
yeah.
up smash do?
Number wise, I think it's only. Let me double check. I can since it's right here.
That's right. It is right there.
Yeah.
Man, that's
Like 12,
nice.
Yeah. I was thinking it was 10%. But
What
it's
if you have
12.
Arsene?
If I have Arsene, then it does 17.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
so something to think about. If you're doing an aerial buffered out of shield, it's going to have that short hop penalty, right?
Yeah.
So you could always just up smash, dude. Something else to consider. Jigglypuff is not very good at air-to-airing her opponent when she's above you. So if you can hit Jigglypuff in any direction you want, you should hit her up. You know why? Because if you hit her towards the ledge and she's not at kill percent, it's not a big deal. And if you hit her up, now you can get under her and go to center stage, or you can keep center stage if you already have it, and you can juggle her. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So as a general rule, I would say that if I had to pick which move I used, I would either choose up smash, nair, just because some percents I bet you that you can combo nair into another aerial if you wanted to. Or if Jigglypuff is doing a rising pound, you could probably even do an up air into another up air.
Okay.
Some food for thought. Okay, so these are
Yeah.
some ideas, right? It's not a guarantee, but it's some ideas. Ideas are good. Okay, if I have Arsene, what's another move I can do out of shield to potentially get a reward off of a nair?
Off of nair?
Yeah. No, off of pound. He
Oh,
pounds.
pound.
Yeah, what is something else that I could do that potentially could give me a big reward?
So if with cannon, since he's nairing after, you always counter, but
Yes. So, what's the quickest way we can counter if we're in shield? We'd have to drop our shield, right?
yeah.
Okay,
we'd have-
so
how
but
many frames does shield drop?
hold on. I have an idea for you. Can you counter in the air?
Yeah, I can counter in the air. Oh, I can just jump and counter. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, just add 3 frames to it.
So how many frames is that?
It's only, yeah, that's 11 frames.
11 frames. No, it's
Total
fast.
with
It's
jump
faster
squat,
than that.
With jump squat, I mean.
Rebel's Guard is frame 3.
Oh, okay. I I didn't scroll down far enough. Yeah.
Rebel's Guard is frame 3. What's
Yeah, then it's
Tetrakarn?
down. Yeah, Tetrakarn's only. Yeah, so it's only 7 total frames if I jump.
That's right. So
Yeah.
if you wanted to, could you call out him being aggressive with counter and get an even bigger reward?
Yeah.
Absolutely. And you know what's going to happen? You're going to counter the strong hit, so you're going to do a ton of damage. Something I think you know what would happen if I was a Jigglypuff player, and instead of doing Pound Nair for pressure, you did Rebel's Guard, and I instantly give you Arsene at 15% at 0% because you just charged it all at once. I probably won't hit your shield anymore because I'm afraid of that. So I want you to think about this idea, right? If you can make Cannon Red feel really bad for hitting your shield, won't that make him want to hit your shield less?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, I want you to think about that because we're going to watch this set and we're going to see how often he just sits here and he bullies your shield.
Yeah.
We're going to watch. It's not something to be ashamed of, right? Like you shouldn't be mocked for it. If you don't know the matchup, then it sucks.
I don't.
The goal of this coaching session, right, is to inform you and to empower you to force Cannon to play the matchup correctly. Because right now, you're not playing the matchup correctly, and he's just walking all over you. So what you need to do is to empower yourself to force Cannon Red to respect your decision-making. And you know what that's going to do? It's going to make him better, and it's going to make you better. Let's watch the set a little bit.
Cool. Because we normally play our secondaries against each other. We rarely do go main to main. I don't know the matchup at all, almost.
Okay, hold on. I like this. Right here. Look at this. Right here. So he goes for a pound.
Mm-hmm.
Where did you jump?
It's catching up. Hold on. I jumped over him. Yeah.
Okay, did you short hop or full hop?
I full hopped over him.
He did a full hop here. Can Jigglypuff reach you if you full hop? No. Not really. You got over Jigglypuff. This right here, this exact situation, I want you to memorize this exact situation. Yeah. When this right here is how you make pound whiff. Because remember earlier we talked about there's two kinds of pounds that we see. Early pound on shield and pound whiffing, right?
Yeah.
So this is what we want. This is a win condition. When Cannon Red pounds, he is committing to controlling that space. And if you put your character into that space, you'll lose. But if you wait just outside of the space until pound goes away, you have those like 17 to 20 frames again, right? It's a small window, but you can do it. So watch what happens. He misses pound, and then he gets nared for it.
Yeah.
That is the matchup. This matchup should be 90% Joker making Jigglypuff feel really bad about pressing buttons. Like, you do not want Jigglypuff to hit your shield. You want Jigglypuff to press a button, hit nothing, and then you hit Jigglypuff. You know why? Because Jigglypuff doesn't have good burst range. She has to commit early. Okay, let's continue. Nice roll. You're maintaining center stage. I like that. You're still maintaining center stage. You got out. Okay, not bad. I like this, right? When you're full hopping, look at this. So you hit him, right? You get this first nair. And so if you do the first nair, where is he? If he just presses A, is he going to go up? No, he's going to go down. So by jumping again, you are getting over his hitboxes. This is good. I really want you to look at this behavior, and I want you to like pat yourself on the back and go, yes, this was a good decision. Because what does the Jigglypuff player have to do to contest you right here? They have to jump again, right?
Yeah.
Okay, what if they jump again, but then you didn't jump and you just stood there? Now they're like way above you and can't do anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's a win condition for you.
Yeah.
You want to come up here first to make Jigglypuff feel bad for pressing A. And then when Jigglypuff starts trying to go up there, you just stay on the ground and make Jigglypuff feel bad for jumping. Let's continue. Mm-hmm. Okay. Somehow you survived. I honestly expected the worst, but hey, whatever. That wasn't bad at all. You just kind of recovered. I think Arsene coming out was nice. Ooh, scary. Bad counter. What
Yeah.
happens? Okay, nice. What do you do? Good back air. Now, what could you have done right here that would have deleted Jigglypuff instead of doing back air?
I was way too aggressive. I should have just landed, spaced it, and I could F smash him. Because in another game, I did the same thing.
You could have. What's another thing that you could have done, especially because you're on the platform?
Um,
Since you still have Arsene, right? You barely have some.
I would technically have the spike hitbox. I could down air
Yeah,
and
you
up
could
air.
have full hop down. You could have dropped from the platform and done down air back air or down air up smash, and he would have exploded.
Yeah,
And that way
I think
you're not risking landing on the ground and getting put to sleep.
it's true.
Okay, so it's just some
Okay.
stuff to think about, right? Like a
Yeah.
big part of this matchup is when Jigglypuff overextends, you have to kill her for it. And so I just want you to recognize that, like, you did good, you punished her, but if you can kill her for it, why not kill her?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, good. I'm glad we're on the same page with that. So, you get the back air. That's nice. You're still at a percent deficit. I like this. You don't try to go off and edge guard Jigglypuff. Probably from experience. Can you tell me what happens when you go off stage and he gets behind you?
Yeah, he punishes you for it.
Yeah,
And
you
I
just die, right?
Like
Like
zero.
you
Yeah.
just die. So
Yeah,
he's
it's not
probably
worth it.
already conditioned you to not go off stage to contest him.
Yep.
Okay, so let's continue, right? Oh my God! So this had such a tragic outcome. What did you try to do?
I try to delay my recovery. That's usually what I do.
No, no,
against
no.
someone
This
who-
part right here, where you're trying to two-frame him.
Oh, yeah. It's just a bad habit of mine. I go for the two frame. I can't do that on Puff. He punished me a billion times in our 20 games yesterday for
So
it.
something that's really important, right? We talked about it a little bit, but I'll talk about it again. Against Puff, edge guarding is the mix-up. Ledge trapping is the default option. Furthermore, two-frame attempts are considered edge guarding. You know why? Because if you bungle a two-frame attempt, you're going to get reversaled. Does that make sense? The risk, even though you're on the stage, the risk puts it into the same category as edge guarding. Now, some characters can safely two-frame without putting themselves at risk, like Palutena. That's different. That is ledge trapping. But you right here, this down tilt, if you're late, you are getting reversaled. I would consider this a very high-risk option with a low reward. Because Jigglypuff's at 82. Is she going to die if you two-frame him here? Absolutely not.
Nah,
He is
I
going
wouldn't
to
even have
be. He's going to be
actual
fine.
follow-up
So what
to
do
it.
you?
No.
And that's kind of the point, right? Like, what plan are you executing here? Like, is your plan like, oh, I'm going to hit him with down tilt? If I hit him, I get a little reward. What happens if you don't?
I just die like I did.
Yeah, like it's bad. So, and think about this. This was online, right? Was this online or in
Yeah.
person?
It's online.
So online, your reactions are dulled. Your reactions are not as good as they are offline. Stuff like this requires good timing. And I think that when you play online, especially when you play online, when playing online, ledge trapping is king. You know why? Because it's consistent. Just let him go to the ledge. He's Jigglypuff. Who cares if he goes to the ledge? This ledge right here, who cares? Now, something to consider. What is an alternative to doing this two-frame that could potentially punish him right when he grabs the ledge? Do you know how to ledge trump?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you'd have ledge trumped him right here, you have a lot of rage. Even though you don't have Arsene anymore, he might have died from back air.
Yeah. With the rage especially.
So something I want you to think about is, if I'm going to commit to a high risk against Jigglypuff, instead of trying to two-frame him, why not go for a ledge trump instead? Something to think about. If you're going to be committed, if you're going to be that risky, like if you're going to be risky in the first place, I don't think you should be that risky all the time. But if you want to go for a trump, who am I to stop you? Go for the ledge trump. But I would pick the trump over the two-frame in this situation. The risk-reward is much better because now at least you're gambling with odds that make sense. At least you stand to win something big if you guess right.
Yeah. It's a bleed over from like a bad hat. It's something I do with like a lot of other characters. I'll just go for the two frame, make them uncomfortable at the ledge, and against Cannon or Puff in general, it's just not worth it. I gotta remember that for the future games.
For sure. Well, that's kind of why we do stuff like this, right? Because it's very easy to say, oh, I'll just do that next time. But when someone else is like, hey, this is a destructive behavior and you got to rein it in, it adds some perspective. It's like,
Mhm.
okay, yeah, this really isn't that responsible, right? Because I'm
Yeah.
not gonna lie, sometimes I have these like, I would call them a guilty pleasure, where like I know it's a bad idea, but it looks fun, so I'm gonna do it, like, and those things are fine when you're playing for fun, or if you're just doing something where there's no stakes.
Mm.
If you are genuinely trying to play your best, guilty pleasure decisions are destructive.
Yeah.
And
That holds me back a lot.
the problem is it's really difficult to separate the two.
Yeah.
You can tell yourself, oh, I'll only mess around in friendlies. I'll try really hard in serious games. But you know what? If you play like that in friendlies, you're probably going to play like that in serious sets too.
Yeah. I blew Smashcade this year, I was gonna lose the set anyways, but I blew a game because I did something like that. That was just a stupid call.
That's okay. Like it's like
Yeah.
again, it's not something to be ashamed about. It's a children's party game. You're supposed to have fun. Like it's not the end of the world. But some people struggle, including myself, to separate the two. And so if you're one of those people, if you're sitting down and you want this to be a serious game, play seriously.
Yeah.
Okay, I've said enough about the matter. You get down there because you gamble, and what happens? You down there, and you're out of options. Death, yeah. This is the
I at
win
least
condition
DI
for Jigglypuff.
Yeah, I at least DI the back air, but delaying the recovery just gives him more time to mess with me off stage.
Okay, we're going to talk about this power dynamic real quick. It is really bad to be down a stock against Jigglypuff. What is the obvious reason why it's bad to be behind against a character like Jigglypuff?
They can move around and just avoid me.
Yeah, they can camp you really bad. It's like being down a stock against Sonic. Because if the Sonic doesn't want to interact with you, it's really hard to make them interact with you.
Mm-hmm.
So especially at this decision right here, this first stock where you're even and you make this big risk that costs you, the stakes were actually much higher than you think they are. Because even though you think you're not doing something that risky, now that you're down a stock, you have to play while behind. And this is going to make you in a hurry.
Yeah.
Something I want you to think about. It's really important that you understand that matchups like Jigglypuff are battles of attrition, and you have to be willing to play slow. If you get in a hurry, you're going to get run over by the first player who's willing to sit there and be lame. Now, is that fun?
Nope.
Some people, it depends. It depends. Some people really enjoy that aspect of the game because they don't consider it camping or playing lame. Think of it like, I don't know. It's like a game where the whole point of the game is to be really good at building defensive walls. Like you build castles, right? And your job is to prevent people from getting in. Now, if the people who are sieging your castle never get in, did they have a good time? No, they sat in a trench and they got set on fire and pelted with rocks. But if they get in, it feels awful for the guy who built the castle. This is how these kind of matchups work. Like you have to understand that like the difference between someone who is able to keep you out and someone who can't keep you out at all is very small. So you have to be really patient with these kind of matchups because Jigglypuff players have no range. They're used to having no range, which means they're really good at being patient because they know that they have to wait for the right turn. So since you have more mobility than Jigglypuff, you run faster, you jump higher, you have a sword. I know it's technically a knife, but it's a sword. And projectiles. So Jigglypuff always has to be the patient person. So every time you give Jigglypuff a chance to be greedy and not have to be patient, you are not playing to your win condition. You should make that Jiggly player frustrated. You should make him want to get in so bad, but then he can't. Instead of feeling like, oh, I'm playing lame, I'm not having any fun, you should be sitting there with a sadistic glee going, ha, he can't touch me, I'm playing super lame. Like, you should want that. Okay. You have to figure out how to make that fun because I promise you it's fun. Like there's a part of the game that actually is interesting. Like it's this really subtle tug of war. Both players respect each other and they're giving stage and taking stage, but nobody's getting hit. Stuff can be interesting without touching your opponent. Like there's lots of game to be played that doesn't involve hitting them, and you can get a lot in neutral by being really good at posturing and taking space without landing a single blow. So I want you to not like have a mentality where you're like, oh, if I'm not hitting him, that's bad. No. If you have the good position, if you're holding the high ground And if Anakin jumps, he gets his legs cut off. Why are you in a hurry? You have the high ground. Just chill.
That's fair.
You know, like what's the
get it.
hurry? What's the hurry? So
Yeah, that's a big problem with me is I don't like waiting around. When I play Joker for some reason, I just like I want to do something cool. I'm ready to get to the next.
that's the thing,
interaction.
man. You have to understand when people like MK Leo play Joker, they make Joker look cool because they force things to happen with their movement.
Yeah.
So the better you are at using your movement to force your opponent to do something, the more you're going to be able to play the game. The reason why the reason why people are able to camp you is because you're not pressuring them enough. Like you will get more opportunities to play the game if you pressure them harder. And that's what I really want you to understand. Like you are in control. If your opponent is playing slow, they are not playing slow. You are allowing them to play slow by not pressuring them more. And so like if you don't like that, then speed up the tempo of the game. Because the person who has all the range gets to dictate the tempo. You have the range. Okay. You dictate the tempo. If you want to play fast, you can play fast. Just don't overextend and be stupid. Okay, so you're down a stock. Let's see what happens. Jigglypuff's off stage. You go for this down air again. I'm not going to sit on it. I'm not going to linger on it. But I just want to, again, remind you, like, stop trying to down tilt 2-frame as a default option. Like, that should be kind of a mix-up.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Another thing, look at what Chaz does here, right? So, first off, we're going to look at this right here. So, what does Chaz want to do?
It's I'm letting it catch up. He's trying to get something going, it seems like, or just kind of keep me out almost with.
What does he want to do right now? He's way above you. What is his immediate priority? What does he want to do?
When he's above me, he's looking just to kind of get back to center stage.
Yes.
Yeah.
On the ground. What percent is he at? He'll die if you hit him. He doesn't want to die, so he wants to get back to center stage where he feels safe. Okay, now I want you to think about that, and then I want you to watch what happens here. Ready? Let's watch.
Okay.
What did he do?
Stream's taking a second. Hold on. Sorry. Oh,
you're fine.
Yeah. It keeps kicking me out for some reason. It keeps like, keep having to refresh it.
That's okay. Here, it might be. Do you think it'd be easier if we did a Discord video stream?
That might be easier, actually.
Let's do that then.
Yeah.
I'm gonna send you this video stream, and then you'll be able to see it. Share my screen. Go live. There you go. That should be a lot less delay for you.
Cool.
Can you see it?
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. So I'm gonna rewind this just a little bit.
Cool.
Jigglypuff, right? We see Chaz right here. You can see my mouse cursor.
Yep.
Awesome. Okay, so watch what Chaz does.
Okay. Yeah.
What does he do?
He air dodges through my hitbox to get back to center stage on the ground.
What kind of air dodge?
A neutral one, because
neutral air dodge. Neutral air dodge is really good if you are a floaty character with good airspeed. So now look at this. Before he air dodges, where did you send him? Up into the corner. Watch how Chaz is drifting.
Mm-hmm.
Where is he clearly telegraphing his intent to go?
He's going center stage.
Yeah. How do we know that? He hasn't gone there yet. Why do we know?
Because he has a drift.
Yeah. He's like going in a straight line.
Yeah.
Like it's Connect 4. And in Connect 4, do you know what we do? We don't let our opponent connect 4 tiles in a row.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what happens here. He goes 1, 2, 3. 4. I landed. What could you have done right here if you'd have called this out that would have deleted him?
I could have read the air or read him landing right there, punish him for it
with like a forward smash, or you could have done fair 1 into up smash too if you wanted to be one of those fancy people, right? Want to be hype. Want to be hype. Now, like, understand that fair 1 to up smash is like twice as much work for the same result as forward smash.
Mm-hmm.
So just keep that in mind. If you're one of those people that's like, oh, I'm going to be the sickest Joker ever. Like, go ahead. Be the sickest Joker ever. Just understand that you don't always have to reinvent the wheel. Like, sometimes you could just press the button and they die. Like, you don't always have to be flashy. So, this section, this part right here, right? Like, I just want you to think about this. Jigglypuff is floaty, and if she wants to get to center stage right away, she has to confront you.
Mm-hmm.
And to do that, she has to commit. Does she press a button?
Yeah.
Or does she avoid you entirely? Now, this is your wheelhouse. You are in control. And what you can do here is just not press a button so early. What did you do? Let's see what you did.
I press buttons.
Hold on. We're going to take a look at exactly what button you did. What did you do? What move is that specifically?
That was up air right there. I tried for.
Did you full hop or short hop?
I short hopped it, trying to catch his, but the air dodge.
Okay, so I'm gonna. So when did Cannon air dodge? Look at this. I'm gonna pay attention to this. When did Cannon air dodge? Let's take a look at that frame right here. How high? He's already pretty close to the ground when he did it, right?
Yeah, he's already past me technically. Yeah.
So I have a question for you. What if you did something else to make Cannon air dodge up here, so that by the time air dodge runs out, he's not on the ground yet?
Okay. Yeah. Maybe like.
So
up
I'm going to talk a little bit about this idea, right? And it's an idea that's not my own. I learned it from Ramsey. He's a great coach. I think he talks about really good ideas, and he has this concept, right, called you like drift with your opponent, right? So if my opponent, right, is drifting down, I want to enter the threat zone to make them do something. Watch this. Chaz is drifting down. Not threatened, not threatened. Oh, I'm threatened. Button.
Okay.
It seems very obvious when you point it out like this, but I do want to illustrate that he is not air dodging early because of your positioning. You are making him air dodge late because he is not being threatened by your positioning. What were you doing instead? Good question. Let's take a look. You throw this thing. You throw the side B. Now, would this side B have potentially covered him if he was going to the platform? Yes.
Yeah.
But let's kind of go back, right, to these goals that we initially have. So what's our main goal? Maintain center stage. What are Puff's goals? Always maintain center stage. So when we look at what we're covering, I really want to make sure that you understand that, like, it's okay to cover this, but wouldn't it be better if we also figured out a way to cover Jigglypuff's biggest rewarding option?
Okay. Yeah.
So here's what I would do instead. Instead of jumping up here, doing this Iha, and then doing a short hop up air that's way too late, why don't you full hop, just to see what he's going to do? Is it possible that if Jigglypuff's up like here where my mouse is, that you can full hop and Jigglypuff can't hit you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what? Now think about this. If you full hop and now Jigglypuff's right here and you're right here where my mouse is, can Jigglypuff react to you doing a double jump up air?
They can react with like an air dodge, but
well, they can't react to the up air anymore. Once they see you jump,
once they've already air dodged, okay.
They can react to you jumping, but they can't react to what you do afterwards. So here's what you're going to do, right? Have you ever played this game where like someone like pretends to punch you and then if you flinch, you get hit for real?
Yeah.
This is that game. When someone is above you like this, I want you to full hop and not press any buttons. And it's a flinching game. If you jump up there and they're steely-eyed and they don't press any buttons, fine. I'm going to go up there and I'm going to hit you myself. But if you jump up there and they freak out because they don't want to get hit, and they air dodge exactly like that, you have forced them to air dodge in a spot that they didn't want to. Chaz doesn't want to air dodge up here. He wants to air dodge down here, where by the time the invincibility runs out, he is on the ground and safe. Do deny him that opportunity. You have to deny it to him. If you give it to him, he's taking something for free that he doesn't deserve. Mm-hmm. He should not be entitled to that. You are giving it to him, or he is taking it from you. Either way is bad. So what I want you to do in this situation instead, control this space with your character. You don't have to press a button. Just jump up there. Force him to air dodge early, and after he air dodges, chase him and kill him. If he goes to the platform, you can do a back air, and if he goes to center stage, you can drop down and do a forward smash. Does that make sense?
Yeah, just like maintain a presence around him.
Yeah, so by jumping up here and being scary, if he flinches, it's like, you flinch. Bam! And you sick it to him. Like, you are in control. He is above you. Okay. He has to play your game. Now, this is because he's being greedy. Chaz is being greedy. He is taking the most direct route to center stage. If Chaz doesn't want to be in this situation against an opponent he is respecting, you know what he could do that's zero risk? He could go this way. He could just drift off stage and go to the ledge. You should let him. You know why? Because him being at the ledge is a win condition for you, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Doesn't have center stage.
So if I have to choose between letting him go to the ledge for free and contesting him on getting center stage and immediately getting back into his comfy zone, I'm going to do the second one every time.
Okay.
I just want you to understand, like, remember, like, in this matchup, center stage is even more important than usual. So all of your decisions outside of your combos and punishment need to be forcing him to respect that. And if he's above you like this, I want you to really think about this idea of making him flinch, right? Because if you watch these sets again, I've already seen him do it a lot. Cannon Red air dodges a lot because he's hoping that you're going to swing and he can go through you.
Mm-hmm.
And once you watch these videos again, you're going to notice this behavior. You're going to see him, oh, he air dodged through me. Oh, he air dodged through me. It's possible to get close enough to him to make him air dodge where he still can't hit you. Now, that window is very small. Puff is small, but he's not that small. So your job, right, your job to win, to do good and position in neutral, you want to get as close to Puff as you can without him being able to touch you to force him to press a button. And then after he presses a button, you make him feel as bad as possible. You make him want to stop playing the character because he's like, oh, my God, I couldn't do anything. I had to press a button. I felt forced. And then I got punished anyway. This feels so bad. You should make him feel ashamed to play his character. And I mean that in the nicest possible way.
We all love Chaz.
I just feel strongly about this, right? Like this is your opportunity to put the hurt on. Like this is what your character is good at. So do it. This is why your character is strong. If you don't do it, why are you playing the character? All right, let's continue.
Cool.
Okay, so this part again right here, right? Like the pound happens. It's an early pound. The Nair out of shield is good, but because you didn't have a plan, you didn't buffer it, and it's late. And it's late, so you trade. Actually, I'm not sure if you might have buffered it. It might just be because it's a late hitbox. Let's look. Nair. You might have just not hit him with the early hit. Where is that thing? Right here. Boom. So that's 12, 13, 14, 15. So, oh, well, let's think about this, right?
Because
Nair is frame 16 for him. You have to hit him with the first frame of Nair or else it's going to trade.
Yeah.
So maybe we should take Nair off of the list of moves we can hit him with.
It really isn't that great against out of shield against him, it seems like.
No, it's not very fast, is it? So let's maybe take neutral air and we'll change our mind. We'll be like, let's not do that move.
it seemed like back air, up smash, or reset and just dip out.
Yeah, back air or forward air, right? You have forward air, back air, up smash, or reset.
Forward air's a little weird against him. He drifts around my shield a lot, so I have to just kind of read his drift.
Now, if you would have done up smash here, would you hit him? 100%.
Yeah,
absolutely. And he would have died too, wouldn't he? Oh, he would have super died. He would have super died. Also, I want you to think about this for a second. So up smash, right? This hitbox. Are you still with me? What is Joker doing before the up smash comes out? Look how low he is to the ground. You see that? Hope I didn't lose you. Uh-oh. This is potentially bad, friends. I hope I didn't lose him. I think he did say it was on his phone. Hello? Oh, no. We were making such good progress. That's all right. I'm sure he'll show up. We got a couple minutes. Oh, I got a message. I don't know. I'll send him a message. Maybe he comes back. Either way, we talked about almost everything I want to talk about. But it would be nice if, it would be nice if we were able to finish. I think I lost you. Oh, you can hear me? Okay, so if you can hear me, I'm just going to finish. Okay. I'm just going to finish. Weird. No big deal. As long as I can hear you, as long as you can hear me, then I'll be done, and I can keep going. Sounds good. Okay, so I'm going to continue. He can hear me, and I'll just be quiet. So we're going to take a look at this. When Joker is charging up smash, what frame is this? Oh, I can hear you again.
Boom. All right. Yeah, I had to reconnect and disconnect like 3 times.
Okay, so this charge hold, right? Charge hold is frame 4 for up smash. What is happening on frame 4?
Yeah, he low profiles, Nair, and Pound aren't hitting me.
Yeah. Well, if he pounds, Nair isn't going to hit you right away. Now, let's see what happens. What frame does he get tall again? When the hitbox comes out. Okay, now I want you to think about this. If you're at 0 and he's at a percent where if you just up smash, he won't die, but if you charge up smash for like 5 frames, barely, just a little bit, pinch of salt charge, he will die. Is it worth trading with that Nair to just kill him on the spot? I think so. I definitely think that's super worth. Also, you disappeared again. Yeah, that's okay. Just you could just talk to me via chat in on Messenger, and I'll pay attention. So the kind of the goal is, right? Up smash is frame 10. I want you to think about this. If Nair doesn't come out until frame 16, I can charge up smash for 5 frames and still not even trade. It won't even trade. It'll just win. So, like, I just want you to think about that. When he hits my shield with Pound, not only can I up smash, I can get some gravy in there. I can charge it a little bit, and he'll die 5% earlier. He'll die 10% earlier.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Internet cut out and just came right back on.
That's okay. How much do I need to say again?
We talked about low profiling and how Nair and Pound aren't hitting me, and then it.
Okay, sounds good. So, right. So the idea is, right, up smash is frame 10.
Mm-hmm.
His Nair comes out 16 frames after the Pound hit's done. You can charge up smash for 5 extra frames greedily, and it will still be so fast that you won't even get hit. Now, at this percent here, right, like this 103, 102, Jigglypuff will probably die to up smash. But you're cutting it kind of close, right? You don't have Arsene. He might not die at this percent. But you know what? If you charge up smash for a couple frames and then you let it loose, I guarantee you he'll pop like a balloon.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's kind of the point I wanted to make, right? Is that like up smash has these low profile frames and it's already fast. So be a little greedy. If you're prepared, not only can you up smash, you can up smash with a little bit of charge and you can really delete him.
I actually didn't know I could charge it. Makes a lot of sense. That's a lot better tool against him.
Yeah, because if you do up smash, it'll do 12. But if you have Arsene and then you charge it for 5 frames, it's going to do like 20% in the 1v1 multiplier.
Yeah.
It's a ridiculous, super good move.
Yeah.
So, and here's the thing. Let's not just talk about that. When we're done with this coaching session, go into training with another person sometime this week, and have them practice hitting Pound on your shield and then nairing. And I want you to get used to the timing of charging a little bit and up smashing in between the moves. It's not enough to know you can do it. You have to practice it.
Okay.
It's very easy. You just got to know the timing. Because here's the thing: when you get hit by Pound, it blocks you from doing inputs for a couple seconds. So if you try to input the timing bad, it won't work. So you just have to practice it. If you practice it, you'll get good at it. And then now Jigglypuff feels really bad when he pounds your shield.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a win condition for Joker. That's what we want. Okay, we have a couple minutes left. Let's watch a little bit more of this set and see what's going on.
Cool. Yeah.
I'm mostly done talking about stuff, but I just want to see if there's anything else that's going on. Again, I want to just, while the set's going, I think that you are getting a lot of results by staying in the full hop range and not contesting him on these short hops. Being in the full hop range is very good against Jigglypuff because it forces him to go up there with you and you can get underneath him. Full hopping is very good, and I encourage you to continue doing it.
Yeah. Because I think this is like game maybe 10 or so we had yesterday, because we played these yesterday.
Okay, look at this. This right here. We talked about this earlier. I'm going to interrupt you a little bit.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
This part right here. We talked about it at the very beginning. Never get cornered for free. Remember how I said I would talk about this later?
If it happened. Yeah.
I'm going to talk about it right now.
Cool.
Because this is one of your big win conditions right here. So we're going to talk about this. So look at what happens.
Okay.
You do.
Roll back.
You do this forward tilt, it misses, okay? You are putting out pressure. Nothing happens. Cannon says, I'm going to take space. Look at what happens. You are cornering yourself, but there's a purpose for it, right?
Yeah.
Look at what happens.
Because I want the F tilt.
If it starts. Come on, you. There we go. So you cornered yourself, but what did you get out of it? Did you end up hitting him in the long run?
Yeah.
Yes. This is exactly what I mean. And I want to make sure that everybody understands this, because this idea is hard to talk about because it's vague. What does it mean? What does it mean never get cornered for free? I don't know what that means. That is what it means. It means that if you are going to run away, make sure that there's a reason for it. Like, I want one of his moves to whiff. Because if I give up, let's think about this with football. If I'm like 2nd and 10, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I can either choose, right, as quarterback. I can rush, and I could end up 3rd and 8, or I can back up 3 yards and launch a successful reception onto one of my receivers, and they score a touchdown. Am I giving the enemy team, some space by backing up first?
Yeah.
Yes, but am I getting significantly more out of that exchange? Am I benefiting from the exchange?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Absolutely. This situation is the same. You are the quarterback backing up for a better position. Is that position behind you better all the time? No, your goal is to go that way. But right now, you know that backing up is the best way to give yourself the space you need to do the stuff that you need to do. That is what this matchup is about. You take the space so that you can use it. Now, if I'm let's pretend that there's an extreme situation. It's 1st and 10, but I'm the quarterback. I'm starting on the 99-yard line. My own end goal is right behind me. Do I have a lot of room to back up and position a throw?
No.
No. So here's what the goal is, right? It's a balance. I take space for free. I use space like a tool, and I trade it for winning interactions. And I combine those things like a tug of war. I take space when it's given to me, and if I need to, I give up only the space that I need to make sure I win an interaction. And then whatever interaction I did will give me all the space I just invested and more. Because look how much space you get at the end of the day because you traded. Now you're even closer to center stage than you were before because you ran backwards. It's paradoxical in nature, but it works. Sometimes you have to back up to give yourself the space to do that. Now, what would have happened if you'd have backed up and he just dashed forward and grabbed you? That would have been really catastrophically bad, right?
I'm dead off stage.
Yeah, so there's some risk to it. It's not always going to be the correct decision. But I just do want you to understand that sometimes that is a good idea. And in fact, I think that's how this matchup should be played. This matchup is I take space when I can, and then I trade it in like I'm at the bazaar. I'm over here at the Minecraft village, but the villagers don't want emeralds. They trade for space. I have a bunch of space. I need damage. So I give them some of my space, and I get damage in exchange. That is how the Jigglypuff matchup is played. Because Jigglypuff has all the space in the world and needs the damage. So you have to say, oh, you're going to try to do damage me? No, I'm going to give up this last little bit of space. Boom, I hit you. Okay. Let's finish the set. So what happens? Nice side B. Don't let yourself get cornered like here. Right here. Right here. I feel like instead of trying to hit him, he's not going to die with this back air. So you know what you could have done instead? You could have just drifted this way. Because what's my actual goal? To keep center stage, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so instead of trying to hit him, you can retreat so that he only gets hit if he tries to take that center stage. Instead, you get nothing, and now he's in front of you.
Play the situation more passively to maintain our space.
Yeah, you have a percent lead. Okay. He just got hit by Iha or Aegon. Why are you in a hurry?
Yeah.
Why are you in a hurry? You have Arsene. You're not even at kill percent. You can be a bully right now. Bullies hold center stage.
Okay.
That's a really easy rule. It's so easy I'll even write it down. Bullies, it's so easy, dude. If you're bullies, hold center stage. If you want to be a bully, you hold the middle of the stage. You don't go over there and hit somebody. You just hold it. You sit there in the middle. You said, "This is my stage. I can do whatever I want. This is my stage. I'm in charge right now. I'm a bully." You have to be a bully when Arsene is out.
Okay.
I like the counter. It's a little cheeky, but whatever. It works, right? Fighting games are all about stuff like that. I appreciate the drift backwards. Okay, what happens off stage here? Nice defensive Aegon. That's the kind of stuff I'm talking about when I say you need to box him before he gimps you. Making good decisions ahead of time. I saw another down tilt. Just be careful about those. Nice trade. Right? That up smash. Boom. Exactly what you want to see. He touches me. It doesn't matter because he dies. That's a good trade. We like those. Okay, let's see what happens off stage here. And yeah.
Try to mix them up. Didn't work out.
The schmicks, man.
Yeah.
Oh. Nice escape. Okay, so this situation. Can you visually identify this right here? What happens? Hold on. This right here.
Hit you with late. I got to roll away.
Yeah, you got to dip, dude. He's +4. You got to go.
Yeah.
You got to go. Now, you can roll away or you can roll in. Where do you think he's going to want to go afterwards? He's going to nair, but then is he going to nair backwards or forwards?
He's going forward.
Probably forward. So which way would you think would make more sense to roll in the long term?
Probably cross him up.
Yeah, you cross him up, right? Because he's going to be going this way. You could cross him up and then be okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Let's continue. So, boop, you get stuffed, and now you're taking damage. Ouch. He was a little greedy there looking for the damage. Nice DI. Ooh, scary. Nice air dodge. Okay, so there's this pattern I don't like seeing here. Check this out, man. He's taking advantage of habits that he sees. Jumping aerial.
Yeah.
Watch this. Jumping aerial. And jumping aerial on shield. Okay, cool. What about right here? Jumping aerial. Oh, jumping. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Do you think that this was a surprise?
No. I noticed it whenever I was recording it earlier. I was like, "Ah, my God, what did I do that for?"
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, oh, man,
okay.
I'm
Well,
dumb.
I'm glad that you noticed that because this is something we got to be careful for. What are you doing right now? You're autopiloting.
Yeah.
You don't have a plan.
I'm panicking.
That's right.
If I'm being honest.
You're panicking because you're like, "Oh God, I'm down 75%. What do I got? I got to hit him."
I got to make something go. I got Arsene. I got to make it work now or it's not
This
happening.
is why you can't ever be in a hurry, man.
Yeah.
You have to be willing to come back from a 3-stock deficit with no Arsene if necessary. You have to have that mindset. You know why? Because if you can do it without Arsene for 3 stocks, suddenly it becomes a lot more easier to come back from a 75% deficit when you got Arsene, right? Now it's no big deal. It's like, oh, I just got to hit him like 3 times, and then I'm done.
Yeah.
You cannot be in a hurry because this crap will happen. What happens? You get parried, oh, you get hit. Nice Tetrakarn. The side B whiffs, that's okay. Trade. Let's see what's going on here. I appreciate the attempt to camp him for damage. That's not bad. That's not necessarily bad. Parry. Ooh, scary. Scary. Okay, you got out of the corner. What happens here? Oh, yeah.
I was getting PTSD watching that. I was like going, I remember now. Yeah.
No, it's okay. This thing is very common. What happens is you get hit. Look at this. I'll show you. This is what happens. Can you see the left platform right now?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, think about what I just said again.
On the screen, but I know where it's at. Yeah.
Yeah, but can you see it?
No.
No. If something's out of mind, it's going to be really hard to think about while you're playing. Oh, yeah. By the time you think about that platform, it's too late. You're not thinking about the platform anymore because you got hit. You're thinking about your DI. Now, a question for you. Look at the smoke trail. Which way did you DI judging by the smoke trail? Because he hit you with a Sakurai angle. So which way did you have to DI to go that way?
I was DIing down, it looks like.
Yeah. Is there a way that you could have DI'd that possibly would have let you press an A move to escape tumble so you don't have to tech in the first place?
Probably up, go over the platform entirely.
Think about how if you just change your DI, you can avoid this situation entirely.
Okay.
Not only did you miss the tech and then roll in because you didn't realize there was a platform there, but your own DI caused this to happen.
Yeah.
Where if you just
Makes
DI with a little bit more self-awareness, this won't happen to you. Okay, that's okay. This thing happens all the time. I get this on people constantly. It's just a part of the game. If this sort of thing happens, the only thing you should do is go, oh, yeah, that thing. Good games. That's it.
Yeah. That's
You
all
shouldn't
can
get
do.
mad about it. Like, it's not a big
Yeah.
deal. It's not a big deal. That it just happens. It just happens. However, if you're like, how do I prevent this thing that made me feel really bad from happening again? I would start with your DI.
Mm-hmm.
I would definitely hold up because what's scarier against Puff in this matchup? Me being above her or me being off stage?
Being off stage.
Why are you going off stage on purpose? You are
Yeah.
sending yourself, you're holding down, but you're being sent up and to the left. So what are you doing after everything gets added together? You're going straight out.
Mm-hmm.
No. Hold
Yeah.
up. Hold
Makes
up
sense.
so that you have a chance to because if you can get below, if you can drop down and get past her, now you get center stage back. Okay. So I think that's good. This is actually kind of nice. I don't normally get through an entire video. I ask for 2 or 3, but the first time I do a lesson with someone, by the time I set everything up on the initial expectations and talking about everything, I usually only make it a third to maybe a halfway through the first VOD. Stuff goes by a lot faster on continuous sessions, I think.
Okay.
And that's normal. That's not a big deal.
Happens. Yeah.
I think we covered a ton too, so it's not a big
We
deal.
got. Yeah. It's. I'm literally gonna get on the grind like as soon as we're done. So.
That's the goal, right? You don't
Yeah.
do coaching and then say, okay, I'm a hibernate
All right,
for
cool. I don't have to
6
play for the
months.
next week
Yeah,
and a
no,
half.
you coach.
Yeah,
you
exactly,
get a
yeah.
session. You're like, okay, I'm motivated. I'm gonna go practice. I'm
I
gonna go
got friends
apply this. I'm
I
gonna
got
get
friends, other
internet
local homies watching
swole.
the streams.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah.
That's what's
So,
up.
yeah, got watching the stream so we can.
Okay,
I'm
that's
gonna
my
see if they
last
wanna
big piece
pull
of advice. Use DI to avoid bad platform situations entirely. Okay, that's a pretty good list of stuff. Yo, what's up, Vic? Dude,
Alright.
it's been a while, man. I took such a big break from streaming. Like, school has been really brutal for me. I'm really glad that I've had some time because my junior recital's done to kind of get back in here and stream some stuff. And like, I really enjoy the coaching dynamic. I really enjoy just getting in here and focusing on the part of the game I like a lot, which is talking about the game. And not potentially just sitting here for 6 or 7 hours is really exhausting. It's hard to be sustainable. I could do these little 1-hour deals like for a while, man. This is great. I'm having fun. It's super great. Awesome. Okay, Joe, dude, it was super nice getting to have you in here. I think you're pretty good, man. Like, you're holding your own pretty well. And I think a lot of the stuff that you're doing, like full hopping around Puff, is good. I think you should keep doing those things. And I think that where you stand to improve the most is having a plan for pound. Early pounds on shield are going to happen, so you have to have a plan for it. And then I also want you to kind of tighten up your risk taking at the ledge, because there's some stuff that you do that just doesn't add up when you think about the risks that you're taking. And if you do those things combined with being more careful about being in a hurry against a player who's really good at parrying, you are not allowed to autopilot with landing aerials against Cannon Red. Cannon Red is so good at parrying. He's better than me. And I'm pretty good at parrying. He destroys me at it. He is super good at it.
There it goes. All right, sorry, I got DC'd again. But
Dang, that sucks. Okay, it's okay. I was just wrapping things up and kind of talking to the audience a little bit. Like I was saying, I think you're in a good spot already. I enjoy the way that you full hop around the Jigglypuff. That's a good thing. You should keep doing it. Work on having a plan for pound. Spend some time in the lab practicing charging up smash as a punish so that you can optimize that so that every time he does it, you make him feel as bad as you can.
Okay.
Also, I would definitely be pressing down tilt at the ledge less.
yeah, I got to break the habit.
Yep. Just be aware of it. Just be aware of it. It'll come with time. Sometime in most matchups, I think it's fine to go for it. In this matchup, I think it's a terrible idea and you shouldn't do it.
Yeah.
Just don't do it. Life will be simpler. Just ledge trap him. He will explode if you hit him, I promise. You don't need to be in a hurry.
The big thing, it's more prevalent in the other game is I gotta stop. I gotta calm down. I can't just try to hurry all the time because I'm always just wanting to go. I
See,
gotta
like this
cut that off.
is something that I learned from Nico, right? He's a Shulk player from South
Yeah,
Carolina. Have you
I'm a
heard
big
of
fan of
you've
his.
heard of Nico?
Yeah, I'm a big fan.
So
I,
when
wa-
when I flew out to Switchfest, I sat down with Nico and I played with him for a little bit. I was like, "Hey, let's play for a little bit, man. Like you're super good. Like I want to learn from you."
Mhm.
And while we were playing, he said something to me, and it's really simple. And I kind of realized that it's super important to talk about. So he told me whenever I used a Monado art, he always knew what I was going to do. Now, I'll talk to you what I mean about that. When you have Arsem, do you play the same as when you don't have Arsem?
no.
You play differently, right?
Yeah, I play a little differently.
Why? I want you to think about that. Why do you play differently?
I can actually kill. That's one big thing.
It's cool,
Kill
like because
reliability.
there's this pressure, right? The pressure
Yeah.
that I don't want to. There's a word here. I'm looking for it. Waste. I don't want to
Yeah.
waste
Okay.
Arsem. Here is the problem. When you don't have Arsem, do I know what you're going to do? No. I have no idea what you're going to do. It is a mystery to me. You could do anything. If you have Arsem and I detect that you are a player that is incapable of separating this idea of not wanting to waste Arsene from your gameplay, I am going to destroy you because you are just going to sit there and you are going to be incapable of playing patiently because you are more terrified of wasting Arsene than losing.
Mm-hmm.
When you have it backwards, you shouldn't be in a hurry at all. Who's in a hurry? You know why? Because you don't need to get hit to get Arsene. What does Joker have that can give you Arsene without losing? Your counter.
Yeah.
Why do you care? Who cares? Who cares? Now, to be fair, at top level, is there a lot of value in being good at using Arsene? Yes. Should you allow it to warp your gameplay to the point where you get in a hurry and your opponent starts getting easy parries and you get demolished? No. And I want you to really, if you ignore everything else that I talked to you about today and you take home one piece of information from me, I want you to really sit down and go, why am I so terrified about wasting Arsene? And I want you to get more comfortable at using Joker as Joker. Joker doesn't change just because Arsene comes out. He's still Joker.
Mm.
So get more comfortable using Joker. Joker can still kill. He's got fair to down smash, fair to up smash. He's got raw up smash, raw forward smash. He's got back air. He's got down air. He can do forward air off stage even. He's got so many different ways that he can still kill. Now, is it quick? Does he kill it like 80? No, not always.
No.
He usually kills it like 120 to 140, right?
Yeah, about that.
Okay, well, stop being in a hurry because you still have Arsene anyway, and you're still going to eventually get some BS kill at 55 on somebody. So why are you in a hurry?
Yeah.
Do not be in a hurry. Just eject that thought from your mind. And you will find almost overnight, if you just stop worrying about wasting Arsene, you will feel so much less pressure. And something I want to challenge you to do is to be willing to let Arsene pop and let the whole bar go down and you don't get hit and they don't get hit. Do you think that right now with your current mentality that you would be capable of doing that?
Before this, no, that's not happening.
Like that thought,
Now,
right?
thinking
Just
about
even
it,
thinking about that,
yeah.
right? It's nonsensical,
Hard,
right?
but
At first
yeah, it's
glance,
hard
it's
to
like,
think about.
why would I get Arsene and then do nothing with it?
Mm-hmm.
It just seems wasteful, right? Like I have to do something with it. It is paralyzing your decision making, and you didn't even realize it.
Okay, that's a good way to look at it.
Like it is okay to use Arsene to capitalize. Please use Arsene, but never let it be in control. You are in control, not Arsene. Joker does not magically lose the ability to kill people if Arsene leaves. You could always get more Arsene. Just press down B. It's not a big deal. If you really want more, it's right there. Especially if you're like, ooh, I almost have Arsene. I'm going to bait him into early pounding my shield, and then I'm going to jump out of shield and counter so that when he nairs, I get my Arsene back at like 85. I get second Arsene. I'm over here like a freaking hobbit. Yeah, we've had Arsene, but what about second Arsene? That's you.
Yeah.
That could be you, but it's not. You're so focused about making each Arsene count that you're forgetting that like you could always get more Arsene.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's all I
I like
have.
that a lot. Hmm.
I think that we talked about a lot. Even though the gameplay we talked about is minimal, I think there's some good ideas for you to kind of latch onto and explore. Especially
Okay.
that concept of you have to get rid of the idea of wasting it. It is impossible to waste Arsene because you don't lose anything. You don't lose anything if Arsene goes away. You don't. You don't. You don't. You're not actually worse off. Like you're fine. You could always get another one. Okay. So at this
Cool.
point, I'm going to go ahead and open up the floor. If you're watching, I have about 5 minutes. If you have any questions about what I talked about today, you feel free to put that in there. And then, do you have any questions before we're done, Joe, about anything we've talked about?
Nope. I'm gonna hit you up. Probably I'm gonna get more VODs and I'll hit you up next week. Do
Sounds
this
good,
again.
dude. I'll be
Yeah.
here.
Awesome. Hey, much appreciated, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks for coming in.
Anytime, man. All right.
Okay, I'll be back and get some water. If there's any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer them. If not, that's going to be it. Once again, thanks for everybody who tuned in. Please, if you would like a coaching session, I'm right here. Like, all you got to do is DM me. I am very open, especially with all this cold weather shutting down school. Like, please, I'm really focusing on expanding my coaching portfolio because what I want to do as a professional after I graduate is be an educator. I want to be an esports coach for a professional org or for an educational institution. And there's not really internships for that. I'll be a first generation coach, So I think it's really important for me to get out here and do the legwork myself and get the coaching done myself and do my own internship, basically. I consider this kind of stuff a portfolio, and that's why I price it really low. Like, just because I want to work on my ability to coach. I want to make sure that what I talk about is polished and makes sense. Okay, I'll be right back, and we'll see what I got. What's up, dude? What happened? Come back. Oh, I bet it's got to do that. There we go. Say hi, Goose. Yes. Okay. Well, I don't see anything new. Okay. I think it's gonna do it, man. Like, if there's not really anything else going on, like, I think that's enough for me. This is a good session. I think it's important to talk a lot about some of these big ideas, um, like wasting stuff. It's super easy to get in that bad habit. And there's lots of characters that are like that. Like, Shulk's one of those characters. If you have wasting limit. If you have full charge Robin book, like wasting that. Like, it's so easy to get into this negative mentality about wasting stuff. What's the best tip for fighting Puff as King K. Rool? I would say the best tip for fighting Puff as King K. Rool is like It's a good question. For one, I don't think it's a very good matchup for Puff. Or actually, no, I don't think it's a very good matchup for Rule. Um, I think the most important thing about King K Rule versus Puff, get really good at SDI. Because if you're not good at SDI, the Puffs is just going to sit there and they're going to dare loop you, and you're going to take 70 and like explode. So I really encourage you to study SDI, how it works, how to do it, and how to SDI out of Jigglypuff's down air combos. I'll give you a hint. The easiest way to SDI out of Jigglypuff's down air combos, you want to always pop King K. Rool out opposite of the way that Jigglypuff is drifting. Because King K. Rool is big, and if Jigglypuff is really on top of her game, you're not going to break out. But you have to struggle as hard as you can, because if you're bad at that, you're just going to take, like, she's going to down air you, and you're just going to take 85% from like 5 down airs and then an air or something. Like, it's just so bad for you to do this. And part of being healthy in that matchup, it is so vital that you are capable of SDIing out of the dare loops. Other than that, like, I don't know, like, I think King K. Rool does fine in neutral because, like, you can whiff punish with dash grab, with grabs. Like, I think pivot grab is really good in that matchup because you, like, Jigglypuff pounds and then will approach with a landing nair. You retreat and then whiff grab, or you pivot grab, and then now she's grabbed, like, and you're in your combo game. Those things are all really good. Other than that, like, you just have to kill Jigglypuff super early. Like, as long as you do that, you'll be okay. Those are my 2 pieces of advice. Woo, okay. This concludes my coaching session. I appreciate everybody for coming in, sitting in, and watching. This was nice. The VOD will be on YouTube sometime tonight. I'll post it on my Twitter tomorrow when it's uploaded. That should be all for me. You guys have a nice night. If you're in Oklahoma, stay safe because of all this cold and ice. Okay, it's pretty. The roads are okay, but man, it's been tearing up some houses and the trees are messed up, and a lot of these light poles are gonna be without power for a couple of days. But yeah, that's my recommendation, man. Like, there's just no time to be horrible at SDI. Like, if you're bad at it, go practice. You know, like, you don't have to become an SDI master, but if you just do nothing, it's going to turn into a training room combo really fast, and that's just a bad thing for you. You gotta at least try. You gotta at least try. Okay, that'll be all for me. You guys have a nice night. Peace.